There you go.
Oh God. Okay, so I'll sing it. Oh my God.
I was joking, but now that you
Okay, no, I'm just gonna do it because it'll get me out of my head and it'll kind of set the tone about doing stuff scared, right? Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's a book, right?
hold on. All right, I gotta record this to put this in speaker view. So go ahead.
Okay. 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 Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año. Felicidad. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody.
I love you. So we will definitely be turning that into a reel. Roma, make sure to make note of that, because if we don't make that into a reel, then we are missing out. But without further ado, Maria, go ahead and take us out on the field. And let's give Maria some love and some light for filling us up with something special this morning. Maria, thank you. Let's go ahead and take the team out.
You know what? Like I just said, feel the fear and do it anyway. First of all, Merry Christmas to all of you. If that's what you say, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah. I just want to say this year, as we celebrate with family, just take into consideration that sometimes there are people that will not be with family and that they're struggling. So as you're out and about today, show some extra love to those around you. So whether it's someone in the shopping mall, someone that you're driving and all that other fun stuff, take an extra dose of patience, as we all know, especially Elias with canceling flights and all this other crazy stuff going on. Yes, it is a time to be with family. Yes, it is a time to, enjoy the season. But for me, as a believer in Jesus Christ, he is the reason for the season. And so I'm forever grateful that I have my beautiful presence right here with all of you, because you showed up today. You showed up today to share your love, your energy, your spirit with all of us. So God bless you. Merry Christmas and peace.
Wow. I mean, thank you guys for coming to Group Coach. That's all we have for this morning. But no, that's really special, and I appreciate you, Maria. And let's talk about the struggle. I'm actually going through a struggle right now to be with family, but I'm going to share two things with you, tell you a little bit about this journey, and then we're going to get right into coaching for the morning, because I'd be remiss to not talk about it. Well, I go down this morning and to get a coffee, and I just want a coffee and a scone. It's a little, local place downstairs in this hotel. So I go down and I go to pay with my card, and as I go to pay, she's like, oh, that screen. And then she reaches over, she says, cancel. What was right on the screen that says leave a tip. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Why did you do that? She's like, oh, because, I'm just finalizing the transaction. I'm like, but it said give you a tip, and then you didn't give me the opportunity to answer it. She's like, oh, and like super humble about it. I'm like, there's other people in line. I'm here. I'm like, it's the holiday season. We probably want to give you a tip. She's like, oh, that's so nice of you. And so I get my coffee and I get my scone, which was literally $4.50 or whatever. And then I checked my pocket, I have some cash. So I give her a $20 bill and I said, here's the tip that I wanted to give you. I would have probably given her less when it was on my card, probably like $5 or something. But the lady starts crying. And it's like, you never know who it's going to impact. Like a small gesture like that made her super, super emotional. She's like, you're the best. She's like, come here. Let me see your bag. Let me throw an extra scone in there for you. And it was just super, super powerful. Like just wanting to do something. It was literally, I just wanted to do something nice for her, but she didn't allow me the time to do that. So do something nice for somebody if you have the means. So even if it's not monetary. So give you a quick story of where I'm at right now. I am in a hotel room in Seattle. I've moved the lighting around so I can have a little bit of light on my face to make sure that I show up for you guys. I've moved every single end table in here. I'm on a chair that's like this low. I'm propped up right now. I'll just show you guys. I'm propped up right now on a Kleenex box because I didn't like the angle of it just being on this low ass desk. So why am I here? Well, yesterday I was to fly to Seattle to pick up my daughter, Lily, who is going to come from Alaska to Seattle via a travel companion with Alaska Airlines. And so this is in the court order. This is my very first Christmas with her. So I'm super stoked. She's going to be here for about 3 weeks. Really, really excited. Well, I get to the airport here. I was supposed to fly back last night, be home by 8 o'clock. So I get here, I check with United, or excuse me, Alaska Airlines. My daughter's mother never put her on the plane. Went back and forth with the attorneys. She's like, I'm not doing that, this, that, and the other. And so I'm pissed. I have to find a hotel room. I don't have any clothes other than this t-shirt, that hoodie, these joggers, and these Nikes that I have on. And I tell you what, you got, it's cold right now up here. It is super, super cold. So had to make some arrangements, had to make additional flights. There was no flights out of Anchorage today that were less than 24 hours with the layover, putting us into SFO middle of the day on Christmas Eve. Well, now there's a severe weather warning. I'm leaving here at 11 o'clock. I'm taking my ass to Alaska. I'm going to get my daughter, even if I have to take the police with me, show them the court orders. And then we stay in Alaska tonight. We hop on a plane tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., fly all the way. Hopefully there's no delays, and get back at a decent time on Christmas Eve. So going through all of that, but at the end of the day, I am still excited. I'm still grateful. I'm still going to follow through on this because she deserves it, and I'm not going to give up on her. But her mom is just, she wants to be a piece of shit. And sometimes people use kids as leverage, and I find it very, very unfortunate. And so that's a little bit of my story, where I'm at, why I'm in this hotel, why I don't have proper lighting. However, the show must go on. I feel that it was important for us to come together. It's the end of the year, we're closing out. So I wanted to make sure that we are all together no matter what, because you guys are important to me. You guys give me strength. You guys give me encouragement. As much as I want to give you guys strength and encouragement, I also get a lot of energy and strength from you guys. So I just want to say thank you for being here. I know some of you guys probably thought we'd cancel this today. Now I felt no matter what, the show must go on. So I wanted to tell you that, and I wanted to just tell you that the sunshine that I see through all of the rain, and the sunshine is going to be, no matter what, by the end of today, that little girl will be with me. And that's all that really matters. And so to her mom, but I made this in a video earlier, I won't say nothing to her. I just won't. I'm not going to say anything negative. I'm just not that person. Over time, the truth will be revealed, and it's going to be her just being a smart little girl. We'll start to see through the line. So I want to share that with you because it is what I'm going through, and I believe in 100% transparency. So in the face of adversity, we find ourselves, and what I want you guys to do as you're moving into the new year, obviously Christmas is 2 days from now. As we move into the new year, I want you to realize and understand some of the things that you need to give up and need to surrender to. First off, when we went to the Sales Mastery, Maria, you remember this, Ernesto, you remember this, and whoever else was at Sales Mastery, I was looking through my notes, and one of the things that I wrote is that I surrender and I give up bullshit and I give up my ego. What happens a lot of times is we tell ourselves lies. And I'm not saying that you guys are liars and you guys aren't truthful people, but sometimes we tell ourselves these bullshit ass lies that we're showing up in a certain way, or we're doing this, or we're working hard. And sometimes, unfortunately, we lie to ourselves. So I want you guys to surrender this year in 2023. I want you to give up any of the bullshit. I want you to give up anything that hasn't served you in 2022. You're going to be honest with yourself. You will not lie to yourself, to the world, to your family, and just be real. I declare to be honest, to be consistent, and to be gritty. I believe that in 2023, it needs to be a year of consistency no matter what you're doing. Like George made a video about that yesterday. Consistency in all things that you do, mind, body, and soul. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a moment. And I'm going to honor thyself in 2023, right? I'm going to work towards the person that I've always wanted to be, and I'm going to back that up with the actions that are necessary to support my goals, to support my dreams, and to support all the things that I want to provide for my family. I have a really big vision for the next couple of years and how I'm going to contribute to those that I love, and then how I'm going to impact the world on a business standpoint. So all the things that I'm doing today are going to support the actions of tomorrow. So I want to share some thoughts with you guys, and I want to go through 7 habits that came from the 7 habits of highly effective people. This information was transformed to align with you guys as real estate agents. First and foremost, number one, be proactive. Get things done. By being proactive, you make things happen instead of waiting. So my question to each of you is today, from now until the end of the year, how will you be proactive in your business today? What's something that you can do? How can you hunker down and make those calls, make those texts? I'm going to do something cool, and I want you guys to attend. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a fast real estate prospecting bingo. Stay with me. I'm gonna have pizza, we'll have energy drinks, we'll have some shots if shit, that's your thing. And from 5 to 7, we're gonna do an evenings one because we do a lot of stuff during the day. And I'll rotate. We'll start in Oakland, we'll go to Hayward, we'll go to Walnut Creek, we'll go to Sacramento, we'll go to all the offices, and it'll be a span a week. So we're gonna do bingo. And what that's gonna be is there's gonna be all kinds of things on this bingo card, like made 5 calls, made this, made 30 text messages, sent 10 videos. We're just going to have some fun with it. So that's one thing that I'm going to help you guys do, to have some fun. We'll be proactive. And you guys can do this at all of the offices, and I'm going to be there to roll this thing out. Number 2, begin with the end in mind. Where is your business going to be in 3 years from now, 1 year from now, 3 months from now? Are you acting as that person? Are you doing the things that support your goals long term? I am acting as the global vice president of expansion and growth for this beautiful organization. Is that how you see yourself? Are you playing it safe? So making sure that you are beginning with the end in mind, knowing that all of your efforts today are supporting Maria's big vision 1 year, 3 months out. Number 3, put first things first. Oftentimes we tend to do things that are important, but not as important as making the calls, making the videos, making content, reaching out. We tend to do the things that aren't as important because we want to have a sense of being busy, and we, and some unconscious level, feel like we did the work, even though we didn't do the hardest things. So prioritize your daily activities. I know that we've talked about this over and over again. The successful agents identify activities that lead to growing business and make sure those activities are priority. Number 4, think to win. If you guys don't have a winner's mindset right now, that dog spirit, that warrior mentality, you guys have to view yourself as champions, because in my eyes, each of you are champions. And so you have to have that spirit. Think, or habit number 5, seek to understand than to be understood. Let me say that one more time because this one's super powerful. Seek to understand than to be understood. Be the best listener and ask more questions and ask better questions. I remember when I was at Coldwell Banker, early in my career as a leader with Coldwell Banker, Joe Pasillo, who was the president of Coldwell Banker on a regional level, right? President, or I forgot the actual title. Anyways, president of our division, I should say. He pulled me aside. It was right before I was going to get on stage and do this huge presentation in front of all these leaders of Coldwell Banker. And he looked me in the eyes, put his hands on my shoulder. He's a big dude, like big, like linebacker dude. And he said, "Speak to add value, not to be heard." And he said, "Look at me in the eyes, Elias. Speak to add value, not to be heard." And when I heard this today, seek to understand than to be understood, I absolutely love that, because a lot of times we think that we have a lot of the answers. We think we know what a consumer needs to hear, versus we need to understand everything that we possibly can. And the reason, or the way that we do that, is we just get really good at asking the best style of questions. What are the good, better, and best questions to make sure that you truly understand consumer behaviors and exactly what we need to do to make sure that we're matching up and we're doing everything that we can to serve them. Number 6, synergize your relationships. I think that you guys do this very well in regards to leaning into the team. How are you leveraging the people around you? The Lucys of the world, the Andrews of the world, the Vernons of the world, the Felicias of the world. How are you leaning into these relationships to build? What is your relationship with your lender right now? Is that lender somebody that you bring in on your buyer's consultations? What's your relationship with your title person? Have you already launched your farm? Is that person partnering with you? Is your lender helping you offset the cost of your marketing for the new year? Are they offsetting the cost of home bought because of all the farming you're going to do? Are they helping you pay half of the price for all of your marketing that you're doing for your farm? Synergize those relationships around you and also band those people together, right? Bring them in for panels, for discussions, for lives, for a podcast that you are going to launch in 2023. Synergize the relationships that you guys have around. And number 7, sharpen your saw in 2023. And what I mean by that is, let's just first and foremost, sharpen your physical appearance, not necessarily appearance, but sharpen your physical abilities. And what I mean by that, like, everybody should have some type of routine that is making them sweat, move their body, walk, like just release some endorphins, create some dopamines. Like, you guys, that needs to be number 1 in 2023. I say this, and I say this from the bottom of my heart. Get real, sharpen your saw, and start with your physical. Number 2, your social and emotional equity. And what I mean by that is surround yourself with those people that encourage you, that inspire you, that push you, that lift you, that are honest with you. And all other people, tell them to fuck off. What I mean by that, if these people are not serving you, if they're not raising you up, but they're saying, you know what, oh, it's a bad market. Why are you in real estate? Why are you even doing this? Hang up your Santa hat. Why are you doing this? Now, like, I want people around me that are going to push me, they're going to inspire me. I'll tell you what, I work very close with Kenny. You guys know Kenny. He's the visionary of this company. But if you think that Kenny is harsh, straight, to the point, imagine being his business partner. Imagine it. Like, him and I will be like, no, that's not good. Hey, I don't like that. Hey, like, shot down left and right. But instead of me getting emotional about it, I'm like, you know what? He's got a point. Cool, let's move on. And I don't hang on it. So surround yourself. They're going to be honest with you, but encourage you, uplift you. Tell you, you know what, Vernon, man, you come correct, bro. You have some great communication. I love the way you dress, man. I think that you're going to absolutely crush it. Get around people that are going to lift you, but be honest with you. And if you see through, and if you feel any of that falseness or pretentiousness or phony, then move on. My circle is tight and it's small. And those people that are in that circle are the people that are going to be honest with me. They're going to inspire me. They're going to encourage me, and they're going to lift me up. So those are the things that I want to talk to you guys about today, because I did some reading. I want to make sure that I share that with you. Questions about EQ, let's chat. Mindfulness and confidence coach, absolutely. Make sure, and Jason, if you can, put your IG handle down below. This is an era where EQ has been talked about, has been practiced, and has been a part of life, and it never was, I won't say never, it was kind of taboo 10 years ago. Now it's just a part of how we operate in business. So what I wanted to ask each of you guys, when we talk about these habits, when we talk about the new year right around the corner, what I wanted to ask everybody, whether or not you have digressed, whether or not you have gone to something else, is everybody clear on this call today, about their plans and about their vision, about their business plan for 2023? And if you are not, and if you have some questions, and if there are things that are pressing, I want to use this platform today to answer any questions about your plan, gaps in your plan, thoughts about your plan, ideas about your plan. Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Does anybody have any questions or need more clarity around what their business plans are for 2023? I want to open the mic up to everybody, because this is important. You guys, we have 7 days left. And if you guys are not clear, let's use this platform to ask some questions, because I promise you, there's people on this call right now that can tell you how many conversations that they're going to have every single day for the next 365 days in 2023. They're going to tell you what their strategic marketing plan is, and how they're going to have those conversations. They're going to be able to tell you what their revenue is, what their budget is, what their average margin is for profit. There's people on the call that will be able to spit that out right now. But if you are not that person and you have some challenges in your game and in your business plan right now, I want to open the mic up to you guys, and I want to share that or talk about that. So I've done a lot of talking this morning. Got a lot of shit on my mind, but let me shut up for a minute. and let me turn it over to you guys. Who has some questions about the clarity of their business plans in 2023? And please interact at a high level. This is super, super important. So does anybody have any questions? Does anybody want more clarity? Does anyone want to share something on the call today? Or maybe something that's really worked for you? Maybe you're doing something else. Anybody want to share? And please do not leave me hanging. Vernon, let's hear it, big dog.
I have a question. Morning, team. Good morning, Elias. I have a question in terms of the equation that you presented.
Okay, I'm in my robe, but I don't care. I'm gonna turn on the camera anyways.
Melody, you just interrupted everybody.
You can't hear me?
No, I can hear you, but you just interrupted.
Oh wait, but I can't hear you. Why?
All right, I just muted her. So go ahead, Vernon.
There's an equation that you presented to us that resolved in the number of units that we needed to sell, the number of conversations that we needed to have on a daily basis. That slid by me. I need to lock that part in. I know the units and the measurables, and I have all of that identified, but I need to get even more micro, bro.
Yeah, cool. I love this. All right, so we're talking just the 1 year plan, right? We're talking 365 days from now. All right, so let's do this. What was your GCI goal? So that's your top line revenue. What was your top line revenue goal, Vernon?
10 million.
10 million? All right, so 10 million volume sold. What does that mean for GCI?
250.
250,000. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that number. At $10 million of volume sold, what is your average sales price in your relative market? Obviously, the deals will fluctuate, but what's your average sales price?
About 600. So I've got that equating to me needing to have 16 units.
Perfect, 16.6. So let's call it 17 units. All right. So his number of units is 17. Let me ask the team a question. Based on National Association of Realtors, average conversations it takes for a realtor to get one transaction, what is that number based on National Association of Realtor statistics? And obviously those numbers can fluctuate as well, but I'm just talking an average industry-wide. Somebody said 40. Anybody else have, Ramel, you said what?
40.
40. Anybody else have anything? 30. Okay, cool. So let's do this. Let's just meet in the middle. So I want you to take that 17 transactions that you just wrote down, Vernon, times that by 35. What is that number?
Oh shit!
I'll give it to you, big dog. But you should have you're on your phone. That number is 595 average conversations that you're going to have in 2023. So, how many conversations should you be having monthly? So let's just take that 595 divided by 12. Guess what, big dog? You need to have about 50 conversations every single month. It actually comes out to 49.58. Let's call it 50. Now, Vernon, stay with me. Let's just divide that by 4 because there's 4 weeks in the month. Every single week, Vernon needs to have an average of 12 conversations every single week.
Got it. That's all I need.
Hold on. One more step. Now, Vernon's going to work 5 days a week. He's probably going to work more. But in the very simplest of terms, Vernon is going to have 2 conversations, 2.47 conversations a day. Now, if you know Vernon, and if you've been around him, dude's a hustler. Dude's put up tons of transactions in just a half a year. Do we think Vernon can meet or exceed that number of conversations daily?
Definitely.
100%. And when you think about it in the most granular of terms, that is literally so easy. Now, Vernon, here's the challenge for you. And this goes for everybody. How do I get to those conversations? My social media posts, my community, the doors that I'm knocking, open houses, the company generated leads, the lead pond, the follow-up. That's how I'm going to go and get all those conversations, but you at least know what I need to have in conversations in order for it to support my big goal for the year. Is that clear?
Exactly. Thank you, sir.
You got it, brother. You got it. All right, guys. So for the people that are just hopping on, we're talking about clarity around your business plans for 2023. Does anybody else have any questions, any clarity? Anybody want to share there? Anybody want to make a declaration? Anybody have any challenges? I want to open the mic up to you because Vernon was vulnerable. He shared. Now he has some more clarity. Anybody else want to ask some questions around their plans, share thoughts, insight? Feel free to take yourself off of mute or raise your hand and I'll get to you. All right, Otis, big dog, let me hear from you.
With
And
me,
bro, I'll tell you this, man, I just got to say, and for all the people on this call today, thank you for the kind messages, for the DMs. It meant the world to me, bro, to see your post, man. I just thank you. That's all I want to
man,
say.
bro, you got my heart beating hella fast. Like, just to weigh in on your situation as a father, like, man, like, I just don't see how people could do that. Like, you're right. At the end of the day, she'll remember this, and she's gonna remember her fucking dad being a fucking beast to go get her no matter what. Like, the universe, God, everything is deteriorating you from getting you from baby. Damn, bro, I don't even really cry like that, but like, I can only imagine. I would never want my son to be taken from me ever. Like, he's my everything. He's everything I breathe for. So, man, like, big dog, I'm with you, man. Like, that shit is real.
Love you, brother. I appreciate that.
To be so vulnerable on here and still show up for us, that's why I put my camera on. As you can see, I was up to like damn near 3:30 wrapping gifts and shit. So I'm getting a late start, but big kudos to you. For me, my goal, I've been saying it, I want to be a top producer. And it's not for validation from anybody, it's from myself. Um, my whole life, I always start something and I don't finish. And as an adult, I've been learning how to be a finisher. Um, Translating that from my youth as being very involved in sports and always winning and never really ever losing. So losing for the last decade has been truly one of the biggest things that I've learned on how to learn to live with loss, whether it's financially, physically, losing loved ones. Um, it's been really fucking tough. I was explaining to you in our DMs, if I was to tell the team half the shit I was going through, like, it only make the success part even better. But for me, that justification isn't there. The top producer is in me, and I know it's there, and it's implementing systems, something that I know that I needed to do, but I just was lackadaisical after my brother's court thing. It took a lot out of me, and it still has, but I feel like I finally turned the corner, and I can only thank it enough to the team. Like, these meetings are so powerful. Like, I mean, some days you might get on here and you'll kind of hop off or whatever, business comes or something, and you don't just stick it through. But if you're ever in a fucking funk, if you're ever depressed or something, the energy in this fucking room is so contagious that it'll literally get a motherfucker to run through a wall. And I'm very thankful for somebody that I'm going to have to put out there that's rejuvenated me, because I got 8 deals done and I thought I was hot shit, and I kind of took the brakes off and took my brother's thing, and it just kind of started going down like that. But this person has fucking woke the beast back up in me and revolved like 4 deals, and that's Melissa Ross. She's kind of been like my saving grace, my angel of late, and she's been getting my ass to get up in the fucking office. We've been fucking shit up for the last 2 weeks. We're actually going to fucking Modesto today to go get a fucking listing signed. So big ups to my girl. She just got COVID like 10 days ago. So like, regardless if she's I think she's fully good on the contagious part, but I'm up in that motherfucker with my N95 on because I'm trying to go get this bag. At the end of the day, I know there's people on here that won't keep it real enough. You're blocking your own blessing. You're not doing what you're needing to do. You're working maybe 10 calls and then you're hanging up and you're calling it a day. If that's just not working, go to an open house. If that's not fucking working, get on here and ask somebody to partner. If that's not working, keep finding out what it would do. Like, boot camp did wonders for me. It got me to do all those things, but it just wasn't hidden. The online generation leads are fucking there. If you're a real good talker or you're good at converting, that shit is a lifesaver. It's been helping me out. And the biggest thing what I've done is the systems part, on allowing myself to say, hey, I was once a new agent and I was fucking struggling. I wish from the gods in heaven somebody would come down and be like, hey, here's a partnering deal. I've done that with about 5 people, and I'm going to continue to do that because I've nicknamed it the Agent Smith effect. If you ever watch The Matrix, When he fucking goes like that and he puts his hand into your chest, he implements himself into you. So that's what I'm trying to do with a lot of newer agents, to show them that there will be somebody to help you, but I'm not gonna fully just hand you a deal. You got to work for this shit. So that's
I
kind of
love it.
where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at. I feel like if I implement myself into a bunch of new agents, not only will it help the team in producing those deals and getting them done, it's gonna build my network of people to know that, hey, bro's a walking bag and he'll share it if you work hard. So that's
Mhm.
kind of where I'm at.
Love
And
it.
implementing all my negative shit and getting that out by the end of the year, because I don't want to have one negative thought going into 23.
Man, I absolutely love it. And you know, it takes me back to I surrender, right? I surrender to the bullshit, and I surrender to my ego, right? The ego is the one that tells me, well, if I just post enough videos, something will happen. That's really just one element of your business. Now, obviously you can build, but there's other things that you need to be doing, and you need to just stand out of your own way. So I love this. Be a finisher, right? Otis said in business, he's been a great starter, but he hasn't been a great finisher. And now he's committed to being a finisher. That's powerful, man. That's really powerful. Cortez, you had your hand up. I appreciate your contribution, Otis. And I want to encourage everybody. You guys have some usual suspects on here that are speaking. They always drop value. But once again, I want to encourage you guys, if you've never spoke on group coaching, to use this platform to get over your fears, insecurities about speaking in front of people, and just put your hand up and contribute, because everyone has something to give. So Cortez, let me hear from you, big dog.
Man, first off, I was really busy this morning and I just saw your Facebook post and I'm like, let me hop on the coaching because he's on it. So let me hop on too. And I don't, as you know, I went through a super nasty custody battle just like you. Mother was playing. I mean, today is our exchange and my anxiety is up, even though we've been getting along, but you never know. You really never know. And the police don't help. They just try to convince the other person to follow the court order, and then you're just going back to court. I've been to court like 6 times in 6 years. It's been stressful. I spent tons of money with lawyers, everything. So just keep your head up, bro. Also, I want to give a shout out to Otis. I saw Otis the other day. Super powerful conversation. When he walked away, I'm like, this dude is going somewhere, like for sure. So I just wanted to give a shout out to O, tell you to keep your head up. When I saw that Facebook, it fucked with my emotions straight up. Like I've been through it. I've drove to Sacramento on a dry run, no answer, no call, nothing. So I just really want to come on here to show you some love, to be honest. And that was it. So
Man,
keep your head, bro. Salute.
thank you. I appreciate it, man, and thank you for being here. You know, and my hope is that you hear something on here that you know is valuable to you, you know, and I appreciate you stopping in and being here. And my hope is that you walk away with something valuable from not only me, from your team members, from your brothers and sisters.
Always.
We'll go to Mel, then we'll go over to Will. Let's hear it, Melody. Is it a contribution on things that we covered? Is it to talk about your business plan? Is it clarity on your business plan? We want to make sure to understand what the topic is. And your robe is nice and it looks cozy.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay, so I got this hecka dope Elgato mic that like the whole team has been talking about, and I'm finally using it. I'm a little rusty with it. I don't think I have all of the pieces I need, but thank you to like George and Kenny and Christina Darrow and everyone that helped me out with like finding it and getting it. So anyways, a contribution, and then I want to make a kind of like a public declaration. So
Yep.
first of all, a contribution to this call is like, Elias, I love you. Like you're my big brother. I was talking to Elias on the phone last night and I knew what was going on, and um you know, I just admire the fact that like the worst shit can fucking happen to you. Like you can get blindsided and socked in the throat. And at the end of the day, you still get up and you keep going and you show up for those around you. And you do it with a good attitude and a smile on your face and enthusiasm in your voice and a positive mindset. And that's like a life skill. I swear to God, we can all walk away and learn something from Elias in this moment right now. He's stuck in a hotel room. He's in 10-degree weather with nothing but a t-shirt and some sweatpants. His baby mama's doing shit that could probably make the normal person spiral out of control. He's got all the excuses in the world to be upset about not being home on Christmas Eve, but hopefully you will be. And he's still showing up for all of us. So at the end of the day, like if you're sitting there making excuses for yourself, look at Elias and go, hey, you know what? This dude has dealt with the worst of the worst of the worst situations. He could have totally postponed group coaching today and been like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. I'm not in the right headspace. But guess what? He used this as a platform to get himself out of that and to help others around him in order to move forward. And it's just so gratifying knowing that like there's people like that in the world. So first of all, thank you for showing us how to persevere and to keep moving and to keep going forward.
That's why it's right there. Persevere.
Yeah, I know. Persevere. And what's the other one?
Oh, it's grateful.
You don't have another one here on the other?
No.
Okay. Persevere and
Anyways,
grateful.
I love you. I
So,
appreciate you.
so if you guys aren't coming up with your word for 2023 right now, you probably should. So, second thing that I wanted to talk about is, I was standing in the kitchen the other day making myself breakfast. And I was like talking out loud to myself. I know you guys probably do that in the shower or when you're driving or like whatever. I see Maria nodding her head. I see Samuel nodding his head. Yeah, like I was literally like making my peanut butter and jelly and I was talking to myself in the kitchen. And I was saying to myself like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of women holding themselves back. So many people have told me like, oh, just wait. Oh, you think you're slowing down now? Just wait till the baby comes. Your business is going to slow way down. Oh, you think you can't do all the things that you want to do right now, like work out and go to the office and attend all these events and travel. Just wait until the baby comes. You're not going to be able to do those. You're going to be out of commission for a couple of years. You're going to be out of sleep for at least, the first 5 years of your life. Like, everywhere I go, because I'm pregnant, everyone's like putting limitations and boundaries on me on what I can and cannot do. And the other day I was just like, you know what? I'm so making this a declaration to the universe. And I was talking to the universe out loud and I was saying to him, and Costa could hear me. I think he thought I was like losing my shit. But I'm like, you know what? I can be a badass mom and show up for my kid. I can be a business owner that's helping 20, 30 families a year get into homes. I can be a amazing like event planner and plan these amazing events and utilize the offices. And I can also travel and attend all the events that I want to attend and show up for my family at the same time. I can do all of the things that I want to do because I see women out there that are doing it all the time. And I don't want to put any limitations on myself. I know that there's going to be some things that like physically I may not be able to do for the first 6 months or year or whatever it is, but I refuse to be like the uncool mom and like lose my mojo and like lose my swag. Like I'm going to be the cool fucking mom and I'm bringing my baby to all the Team Fast events and I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm going to get him like a Fast Baby onesie made and we're showing up. Like I don't care. That shit's happening and I'm going to sell a lot of homes and I'm going to be a good mom and a good wife and I'm going to be a great team member and like contribute at a very high level and like I'm going to do all the things and I'm sorry for anyone right now that's doubting me because I'm about to prove you wrong. But it's
So Mel, so let
it's
me
about
ask,
to be
so
lit.
what is the word of the year for 2023 for you?
For me, I don't
Yeah,
have
because
one yet.
you started out like if you don't know the word of the year for you in 2023, it's time to get right with that. Do you have one?
Right. No, I'll have one by the end of the day though.
But here's the thing. I love the clarity around your message and like no matter what, like there's moms out there like Olivia McNally. She was at your event. She's like she had her baby, and the second day she had her laptop on her lap. She was sending out comps. She was, like I think moms, as parents in general are just strong human beings. And shout out to all you moms out there in particular. I know that there's a lot of extra things that might be on your plate that and we don't see, we don't realize, but there's just so much strength that you guys display. So Melody, you're already a strong person. I cannot wait to see how much stronger you become with little baby boys in your arms, and he's a part of your life. So really appreciate your message today. It's really important. Thank you for the kind words too. Will,
You
bring
got
us home, Doug.
Good morning, everybody. I love being on these. I love hearing everybody's contributions. I'm someone who definitely has an exploding brain of thoughts at all times, and my mouth can be attached to those. When I'm in these trainings, I'm really doing my best to listen more than I talk, which is something that I work on in my life. The inspiration that I glean from you guys, the knowledge that I've gleaned from you, the hustle, the cleaning spray on brushing my own bullshit aside has been huge this year with you guys. So if I'm going to wrap this up, kind of a theme on this call was the, not bullshitting yourself part of this. And I've said it before that one of the biggest pieces of my own work is not to allow wherever my brain goes to tell me a narrative, right? To not bullshit myself, to keep that narrative as clean as I can myself, so that what I speak to myself and to others is truth, right? Just trying to be true to your clients and true to your family and all that stuff. You're never, that lens is never going to be clear if you're not saying the right things to yourself. There is a lot of these, I don't really get down with this shit, but there's a lot of these male oriented macho training programs that are coming out right now, like the Warrior Book and stuff like this. And a big part of their stuff is the stop fucking lying thing. I've read that before. I never jived with it, but with more kind of discipline as I'm studying things, if you really do take your entire year this year and at the top of your business plan, it's no bullshit, right? And now you see through that new lens, right? That truth to self and that self-respect piece, your year will change. You'll be able to hit metrics better. I worked on that all year this year. I set a very aggressive business plan and went hard on the paint. I didn't get over to fast until about Q2 of this year because I was getting out of my old company. I busted my ass hard on getting out of there and trying to run as hard in the paint and fast as I could this year. My business plan next year is going to be a business plan that is executed in the highest amount of truth and accountability, right? And that is my body, mind, and spirit. I've never approached a business plan before from that angle, and fast has inspired me to do that. I'm a Spartan athlete. I've done some of the hardest races in the world. That was old Will. This current Will has put on 30 pounds and had tough shit happen through the pandemic. I don't want to be, I have had moments of greatness in all different kinds of areas. I've been super spiritual. I've been working on that enlightenment path when that's all that mattered to me. There was a point in my life where I was like, okay, trying to attach myself to being the spiritual guy is an attachment. If you ever looked into Buddhism or any of that stuff, attaching myself onto being that is not where I want to be. Right? I don't want to be the guy who's saying he wants to be the guy, right? So body-wise, I'm going to go hard in the paint and I'm going to run the Spartan Agogi. I'm going to run the hardest Spartan race in the world. I'm going to go 60 hours and do 0 alcohol and Olympic weightlifting, and I'm going to meditate and dial in, and I'm going to achieve this race. Why? What was that? That was me trying to accomplish something big so I could say that I accomplished something big. Was it for myself or others? I don't know. A blend of both, but I was attached to being that guy. How much business do you think that I closed that year when I was working out 30 hours a week and it was my only focus? I can tell you that the numbers would not impress anybody at Fast on this call, right? So to not be attached to being this esoteric knowledge guy or light worker, or to be the top producer in my real estate company, not being attached to any of those concepts at all. Saying I'm going to meditate daily, saying that I'm going to work out daily, saying that I'm going to follow X amount of systems daily, right? Setting the daily routine. You caught Elias saying that again on this call. It's stressed, right? Don't be attached to some extreme goal, right? Set goals this year that are going to improve your mind, body, and spirit, that can be a ritual for you, that you're going to be able to touch daily, that are going to help you become who you want to be that 1 year from now, right? Production goals can be tied to that.
Totally.
That's not you attaching onto some unreal idea. You know that you've got to do 500 calls in 1 month. What's 500 divided by 4 weeks? Great. What is that number divided by 5 days? As part of your ritual, is it going to be a very hard thing for you to do after your meditation, your morning workout, for you to make it, crank it up a notch and call it 10 calls a day, right? So it's for you to do the system and plan that you have in place, but to actually do it and not bullshit yourself. Not to hop on these calls and talk and be like, oh yeah, I'm crushing it. I found myself talking on these calls before where I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have said shit on this call. I'm talking about the Will that I could have been this week, or the Will I was last week, or who I'm going to be next week, but it wasn't me this week, right? So again, it's just about accountability and actually following something that's going to tune all of your stuff, right?
Man, I absolutely love it. And I love everybody's contribution today. There's a book, and I think I always pronounce it wrong, Melody says, Eckhart Tolle. Am I saying that right? The Power of Now, leaving
You said it right.
Okay. Leaving your egoistic mind, really, really living in the moment. Because if you set a big lofty goal for yourself, that's important, but is it going to change something in you when you finally hit that goal? No, it's kind of like, oh, I did it. What's next? It's like the power of living in each moment and walking and experiencing it and leaving your egos behind. So you guys, let's wrap up with, I totally surrender any of the falseness that you're telling yourself. If you're not making your calls, if you're not showing up, somebody said, oh, yesterday they said all my videos. I said, what videos? And there was like this awkward silence. And well, I have like 1,000 in my phone. Well, where are they? Right? Don't talk to me about videos if I've never seen them, because I'm probably going to call you out. Right? So live in truth. Live in truth. That's why it was important for me to be here today. That's why it was important for me to make a video about it this morning, because it's truth. This shit is hard. I could be private still, but I could be really, really personal. And so the reason why I wanted to be here today is because in the face of adversity, we find ourselves. There's going to be times where you don't want to show up. There's going to be times where you don't want to do the things that you need to do in your life and business. But I found that extra gear and I showed up because I know I needed to show up. And so find that with yourself. Let's go to 2 people, key takeaways from today's session, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And I'm going to go and get on a plane. Lucy Spencer, key takeaways from today's session, and then we'll have Dominique close us out for today. Lucy Spencer, key takeaways from today.
Hey everybody. Wow, honestly, listening to everybody share in your stories, it really had me thinking, and I've been thinking about my word this last year was breakthrough, and I really feel like I accomplished it. And so I've been really like thinking about my business plan for next year. I don't have it yet. I don't have it written out. That's on my to-do list, and I have to get that done. So, but as far as like takeaways, I think for me, a couple years ago, I read 10X, and that changed my life. So like Melody, like it resonated with me. Like I've had so many people tell me, you're doing too much, slow down, you can't do it all, it's okay, like give up on this or give up on that. And like, no, I don't want to do that. Like I can do it all. And so Melody, thank you for everything that you shared, and Otis and Elias and everybody. And I agree, like, I know that I don't speak all the time here, but I listen to each and every one of you, and I appreciate you all because you do inspire me. So yeah, I am going to keep on living 10X. I believe in going hard. My activity is always high.
I love it.
I want it all. Yeah.
All right, Lucy, I want to encourage you to get your business plan done by the 1st. Have that in your calendar and just be clear, because you are a woman of purpose. You're a woman of virtue. You're a woman of health and fitness and mind, body, and giving back to your community. Let's make sure that plan supports everything that you're going to give to this world in 2023. Dominique, let's hear from you, and then we'll go ahead and close out.
My word for the year, I've said this before, and I'm going to stick to this word, is guiltless. And because since I've expressed that to you guys a few weeks back, I literally been living in that, and I'll get dressed, I'll do what I need to do, and whatever follows after that is what I do. And if I don't, then that's just what it is. And so that has helped me in many ways with starting the systems with this business with EXP, and also just getting back on track, because I've been out of real estate for so long on this side of the spectrum. So living in a guiltless manner on a day-to-day has really pushed me to do what I needed to do in order to feel confident and satisfy my inner self. And so the key takeaway from this was, and that kind of aligns with what Melody was saying, feeling like, you know, you can do it, and whatever people think you can't do because you are a mom, the limitations are just like non-existent. And so that just goes in line with what she's saying. And I totally feel her, I totally get it. And she can absolutely do it. And knowing this before she has her baby, like, I'm not going to lose myself, she's taking those steps to say, I'm not going to lose myself. And when she sees it happening, she's going to pick right back up. So
I love it. I love it. So you guys, let me get my Zoom light on me. Go out there and make it happen. No matter what the circumstances are, get your lighting, find a spot, do your thing, have some fun. And I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I am going to get on a plane. It's snowing here in Seattle. I'm going to get on the plane. I'm going to go get my baby. So I will post some videos about that today, but I love you guys. I appreciate all of your kind messages, and hopefully each of you have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, everything in between. So love and light to you guys all. I'm gonna go hop on a plane right now. So
Hey, safe travels, E.
Thank you. I
We
appreciate you
need that
guys all.
video of her hopping into your arms, man, for sure.
That's right, bro. That's right.
Be
Love you guys.
safe.
Have a great day. Merry Christmas.
Happy